What's going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Gigantic Trackers Sinotyrannus, which is part of the brand new Dino Trackers line, and this is from Wave 1, I believe. And let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging that we have right in front of us. And this is the basic Gigantic Trackers packaging right here. And it's an open style packaging, and you have a long cardstock in the back with blue and beta on the left hand corner, and it says you have the forest biome right there, and has the arrow pointing down to indicate where the action feature buttons are. And you have the Jurassic World logo right there, Gigantic Trackers Sinotyrannus at the bottom, Dino Trackers right here, ages 4 and up, that's me, and this is produced by Mattel. And we have Dino Trackers right here, and have the Jurassic World right here, and at the bottom here's all the copyright information, Universal and Amblin Entertainment logos right there. And you turn this around, and here is the back of the packaging, and here is the prototype or art rendering of the figure right there. It says total chomping action, tail strike, and then tracking gear included. And then here is the facts information right there. And then here is the Stegosaurus, which is part of Wave 1 as well. So we will be doing that review in the next video. So be on the lookout for that. So, and that is it for the packaging. And let's go ahead and take a few minutes to take this beastly animal out of its packaging and take a closer look at it. And we have the Sinotyrannus out of its packaging along with its hunting gear or tracking gear. So let's go ahead and move this out the way real quick. And let's go ahead and take a look at this gear. So this is a very nicely detailed. It's made out of this soft pliable plastic right here. And so it's very flexible. So it should be able to go on the dinosaur very easily, you know, without any difficulties. Because I know here back in the kinder days when they had like capture gear and things like that for it, a lot of the times depending on the production run, some of it can be really hard and brittle and they would break easily, especially now. And then there are some others that were released like later on down the road, like for the Lost World line, I believe, that was more soft pliable plastic, so it's a little bit more flexible. So it all depends on when it was made, I believe. So depending on the quality of the plastic that it was made from too as well. But in this case here, it's more of, like I said, it's more of a soft pliable plastic, so it should be able to go on the figure pretty easily without any problems or anything like that, you know. So it's very flexible, so it won't break on you, you know. I hope it doesn't, because it's got a lot of maneuverability here, so it should be able to go on with ease with little to no problems at all, you know. But anyways, so this is very nicely detailed. It's a shame that we didn't get a little bit of paint jobs here on it, you know, just a little tad bit, not asking much. You know, I would have liked to have a little bit of red dots right here, like for the infrared beams, you know, kind of like a tracking device. You know, these are dino trackers. You know, they use these dinosaurs to track things, so it would make sense to have a little bit of infrared light right there. So that would be pretty cool. So, and then for the harness here in the back, you know, got a little detail right there. Little gadgets right there on the side. You can tell you got the little bitty straps right there. It's connected right there. Got the little clip right there. So this was probably made out of with a design. It looks like it's soft material to go around the back of the dinosaur. You know, the strap with the clip on right there. Nice little details right there. The same thing on this side, and then you got the hoses right there that connect to the goggles, so it can see. So, funny thing is, when I think of this and it's covering the dinosaur's eyes, and they're looking through this, it kind of reminds me of kind of like what the T-800 from Terminator sees. I know, but that's just what I vision for whenever with these infrared stuff goes on an animal or a dinosaur or whatnot. You know, it makes me think that they seen what the T800 sees, you know. But anyways, but yeah, so very nice gear that they gave this thing. All right, so let's go ahead and put that aside and bring out the Sinotyrannus itself. And this particular species was from the early Cretaceous period, and it was one of the larger known Tyrannosauridae species that was known to be have found. And sorry, I don't think that made any sense, but my apologies if it didn't. But this is pretty much classified as part of the Proceratosauridae family, which is part of the Tyrannosauridae family as well. So, like I was trying to say earlier, that it was one of the larger known Tyrannosauridae that's been found out there. And this was from China. It was found in China, should I say. And only bits and pieces of this at the time of this recording has been found as far as like fossil goes. So like I think half of the skull here and half of the lower jaw. So basically this part right here, the front, was found, and part of the hip and some of the spine was found. So that's pretty much all they have for this particular species. So, and also there's also been talked about how they that's probably had this crest part on the head as well. So we don't know if this is actually what they actually had on their head or not. So that is what is believed to have had. So as far as the figure itself, looks really good. You know, I really do like the sculpting of this and how they added some of the quills here on the back and all over on the tail, and even on the lower part of the neck, and osteoderms all around the hind legs and a little bit on the tail, back, and neck area. Not overloaded, but you know, you could tell that they're very visible, large. And as far as the head sculpt goes, the sculpt is pretty good. Don't like the large buck teeth like they give these particular species, you know, but overall, if you open the jaw, you know, they're very nicely done right there. Individually painted, you know, got a little bit of sloppiness right there, but I think it was just painting this right there. But overall, the teeth itself, you know, the mouth, jaw open, looks really good. But then you got that large overbite. It seems like all the teeth showing. Looks a little cartoony, but it is what it is. But the head sculpt itself is really good. Got that crocodile looking like skin right there in the front, you know, the front of the jaw and along the sides here. The eyes look good. And then the neck, got the wrinkling in the neck. And then here on the side, got a little bit of rib showings right there, the muscular structure right there. And then you got the deep cut here in the hind legs. You got this weird looking flap right here, you know. I guess that's part of the design that they decided to give it, you know. Very interesting. And then you got the deep cut here, then the knees, then the calf muscle right there. Then you get the bird-like feet right here in the front. And again, no painted toe claws are in the front or in the legs or feet, you know. Same here. This one's a little bit more deeper than the other side right there. So, and then here the kneecap, the calf muscle right there. So you can get some slightly deep cuts here, but not as deep as it is on the other side. This is a little bit more defined here on this side on the neck. You can tell. And then, as far as articulation goes, get the hind legs that go forwards and backwards. This is the ankle pivot right here, moves, but I think the only reason why it's really movable like this was so they could fit it in the packaging. This one, not so much. I'm not going to force it either. And then you got the ball and hinge on the arms here at the shoulder. So inwards and outwards, front and back. So very cool right there. And then as far as the tail goes in here, that's both tied in the action feature right there. So you press this button right there. You would want to hold the figure like this. And it just does that side biting action right there. Then on this side, here is the tail swinging. So pretty cool. So as far as the paint scheme goes, this is pretty much casted with this green plastic, and you can tell it's got a little bit of that mix of the yellow here. You know, you get the yellow highlights here. So that's what they've been doing lately with their figures, is that they've been adding a little bit of mixture of whatever color they decide to add and just mix it in and mold it out like the way it is. So, and then you got a little bit of spray paint right here, airbrushing right there, the yellow right there to kind of match this jaw here, which is a separate piece. And then, you know, you can tell the arms are a separate piece too, because it's a little bit lighter green. And then the only actual paint that you really get is the red paint here, all the way down here at the bottom, and all the way down to the tip of tail, which is pretty interesting, you know. And you can tell here they add the little bit of this flap here, kind of like they did with the legs. Now, it would have been cool if they had added a little bit of red hair. Not hair, but here. So that would have been cool. Kind of match that a little bit, you know. They did paint half of it, but they didn't paint all of it right there. So then they got the tail here. They painted all the way down here to the tip. And then I do like how they have the detail paint here with the red, the use of red here for the crest. And then they got it here alongside the eyes, here all the way down here along the neck. So I do like that design. So overall, as far as the color scheme goes, it fits in. Like they said that this is part of the forest biome. So this color scheme actually really works, especially for the type of environment they put this particular species in. So there you have it. So let's go ahead and put this gear on and see what it looks like. And just go ahead and slide it on right there. You can slide it on right there, covering the eyes. So like I said, when it's looking, I'm thinking that it, you know, with its eyes covered, it's looking through the these tracking devices here in the infrareds, you know, just so they can see in the dark, things like that. You know, kind of looks like their vision kind of reminds me of the T800, how it sees the world, you know. I know, weird, but hey, that's just my thought process. And then, of course, you know, if you really want to secure this, you would just slide this thing in there and secure it. In due time, the more you put this on and off, I'm sure this part will rub against that part right there. So you might have some wear over time if you want to excessive use of this particular gear. So, but yeah, that's what it looks like. I think it looks really good, you know, in my opinion. I think it looks great, you know. So we're going to go ahead and take this off, and we're going to do some size comparisons. So first comparison, we have it next to a T-Rex. So like I said, it's part of the Tyrannosauridae family. And then we will go ahead and bring in another member of the family, especially this one when it's classified as part of the Proceratosauridae family. So here is the Proceratosaurus. And so all these are all members of the Tyrannosauridae family, you know. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, Sinotyrannus, and the Proceratosaurus. So they all look good right there. And we are going to compare it with some other dinosaurs, excuse me, sorry about that, that it lived with alongside in the early Cretaceous period. And we have it next to the Amargasaurus and the Polacanthus as part of some of the species that it lived with in the early Cretaceous period. And we have the Legacy Collection Alan Grant as for a human size comparison, which is pretty much almost accurate. You know, just a little bit smaller than what it's supposed to be. It might have been just a hair bit bigger, but as far as in scale, it's pretty much on point. And there you have it. That is my review of the Gigantic Trackers Sinotyrannus. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this particular figure. Would you like to get it to add to your collection? Do you have it? What do you think of it? What do you think? What are your thoughts of the species itself? You know, do you think they did a good job of making what the figure or dinosaur, what it would look like? I think so. I think they did a pretty good job on it. And really love this figure. And don't forget, words of wisdom. Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, you will always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.